Yeah, about anything you want. Animal, vegetable, mineral, whatever subject you desire. I will be able to pontificate upon at your request.
Vegetable.
Perhaps a cucumber, one of nature's most crisp and watery delights.
Cucumbers you hate, by the way.
I don't
You
like them, no.
pontificated on them as though you
They
like
are
them.
vegetables, and I respect them as vegetables. I just don't appreciate them personally.
Well, what do you dislike about them?
I don't like the watery texture. It's the same thing with tomatoes. I do not like the vegetables that have that specific combination of like a firm architecture, like a crisp, cellular structure, and then like a gooey inside, a watery inside, like a tomato or a cucumber.
You don't
I
like
don't like
a
that.
cellular wall.
I don't like a
You don't
cellular
like
wall.
to
Get
be
it
able
out of
to
my
experience
face.
the cellular wall. You feel like that should be on a smaller scale where
Yeah.
you do not need to
I feel like
experience it with your tongue.
It's this liminal zone between crunchy and chewy that is unsettling and uncanny, and I don't like it. I understand people who do, and I don't enjoy. It's just like I'm going to, if I can,
You
get
don't
the
begrudge
tomato.
them, but
if I have the option, I'm going to have the tomato removed from my sandwich or my burger. I am going to opt out of the tomato in the sandwich concept. I like tomatoes in every other form. You chop those babies up, you turn them into a pico de gallo or a salsa or a ketchup.
Or a marinara.
Tomato sauce, a marinara. Oh my God, Italian food, the best in the world. In my opinion, the Italians, they got it right. In my opinion, the best folk cuisine is Italy. I love the tomato sauce. But just itself, it's good. It feels like a unfully formed fetus is what it feels like.
I don't know. I feel like I like a tomato just on its own
Ugh.
more than any other form of tomato.
Well, there you go.
Like,
That's the
I could,
opposite
like-
of me.
I could,
want
like,
it as
bite-
far away from its like specific form as possible.
I could slice up tomatoes and eat them with just salt and
I
pepper.
would never do that. No, thank you.
Actually, in the series, the mini-series of Angeline, they show her at Denny's ordering a plate
5
of tomatoes.
slices of tomatoes. Can you imagine how disgusting the tomatoes at
God,
Denny's would be?
mealy.
Just this
mealy.
beefsteak monstrosity.
I don't.
Totally clear, like barely a hint of red coloring.
I love tomatoes, but I would not order that. That sounds disgusting.
Yeah, gross.
That's the type of tomato that I think most kids get in the
Yeah, well,
Midwest
that's what everyone tells
when they
me is they
order
say,
it
"Oh."
on a burger and they get a tomato for the first time. That is the imprint of type of tomato
See?
that is in their head, and that is why they don't like tomatoes. And when I say they, I mean you,
I
Matt
know.
Christman,
Everyone
in
says
particular.
This. Every person I've ever said to who disagrees with me says the same thing. They say, "Oh, you've never had a good one." And it's
No.
like, yes, I know that I have been mostly exposed to awful, watery, big beefsteak tomatoes from some Monsanto hell farm in Iowa that have no real flavor.
I'm not saying
I
that.
have had good tomatoes, and I get them, and in certain contexts, they can be good. Like bruschetta, I like bruschetta. In that context, I will just take like a tomato on its own. But on a sandwich, the specific textural combination of tomato, to me, it distracts rather than enhances the flavors, and so I don't like it.
I'm not saying you've never had a good one. I'm saying I think your imprint, so your original impression of what a tomato is bad. So that you base everything off of that, and you think that
have had
anything
better
that
ones,
doesn't
though.
agree with that is an exception to the rule and not the rule itself.
It doesn't matter how good the tomato is. It's not welcome on my sandwich. I just don't want it there. It does not enhance it the way it does for others, even if it's a good tomato.
What if it's an heirloom tomato?
Yes, I don't care. I don't want it there. Crisp lettuce or onion? Yes. Not tomato. I don't like it there.
We just ate something that were the exact opposite of tomatoes, I would say.
Yeah, donuts are the opposite of tomatoes for sure.
Yeah. We just went to the park, to Barnsdale Art Park, to have a picnic with some friends. And then afterwards, we decided to go get Winchell's donuts. And they were excellent. I got a custard donut myself.
I got a sugar twist. One of the 3 I would revolve through as a kid when my dad would take me to get donuts before he'd drop us off at school. I would either get a Long John, a chocolate Long John, a cruller, or the sugar twist. They didn't have, sadly, the other 2, so I got the sugar twist.
The cruller was only a name that I learned of donuts in New York. I had never known what that type of donut was, and I had never tried it before. And it was honestly, once I realized what it was delicious. But yeah, my dad also took us to get donuts before school. In fact, whenever we missed the bus, whenever we slept in too late, which was usually my little sister Megan's fault. She knows what she did. She was a really, really horrible sleeper. Anyway, whenever we missed the bus, my dad would take us to get donuts or he would take us to McDonald's. And that wasn't a really good way to get us to wake up on time. I still really wanted to wake up on time, though, for whatever reason. I'm an on-time person.
Yeah, punctual. Me too.
Yeah.
Compulsively so.
Anyway, I'm going to introduce the show that we are currently listening to. Hey, everyone. You are listening to Low Culture Boil, the trash podcast about trash culture, hosted by Trashy Babes. My name is Amber Rollo, and today our guest is Matthew Christman, friend of the pod.
Hey.
Thank you for being here, Matt.
Pleasure as always.
And today I wanted to talk to you about a excellent new reality show that is in the romance reality show genre, FBoy Island.
FBoy Island.
FBoy Island.
The island of misfit boys.
The island of misfuckboys.
Also that.
But they never say that.
They infuriatingly... No, that's the other thing. Not always. Occasionally they do. They have let a few slip in the second season.
Yeah, they have let a few slip in the second season.
But for the most part, they call it FBoy Island, and all through the show, that is on HBO Max, so they can swear all they want, and in every other context, they say fuck nonstop. They're all swearing like sailors, and yet every time they refer to an fuck boy, they call it an F boy.
Yeah, it is true. They never use the word, and it is on HBO Max, so they don't even need to adhere to
infuriating.
Fuck CC
but
regulations.
I swear to God, there was one time in the second season.
You just spoke over my joke.
I'm sorry.
Fuck CC regulations. Get it? Get it? Get it? Instead of FCC regulations.
Right.
Sorry.
Fuck CC.
Yeah, fuck CC regulations.
I get it.
You spoke over it, so it doesn't really matter anymore.
I blew it. Cut all this.
Yeah, I'm going to cut it all.
Cut it all.
I'm going to cut the whole episode.
Okay.
Okay, cool. But yeah, Fuckboy Island. No, F-Boy Island. They've never once called it
one
Fuckboy
time.
Island.
I swear to God, one time one of them said fuckboy. I think it was Louise.
Oh, yeah.
She said, "You're a fuckboy," and they actually let it through.
You mean Luis?
Oh my God! Don't get me started on that.
Okay. So we watched actually the first season of this show last year, right?
Yes.
And it's hosted by Nikki Glazer. And if you have not watched the show, we're going to tell you what the premise of the show is. Matt, why don't you break it down for them?
Okay, so F-Boy Island, the premise is, what if you were on an island as a young woman surrounded by guys?
Oh.
And they were all vying for your hands. But you don't know if they're the guys that you expect to show up for a reality romance show, people who are there for the right reasons, or if they're F-boys, a.k.a. fuckboys, a.k.a. the kind of guys who will have sex with you after a Tinder date and then never call you again. The guys who will use you.
Yeah, and in the first season, it seemed that the definition of F-boys was pretty clear. It was someone who came there not for the right reasons, not for love, but for the money. Someone who does not care about women and their feelings, but is just trying to get off and get paid.
Well, what's interesting about it, though, is that the way they distinguish these guys, like they don't know anything about these people. You know, they're doing a TV show. It's self-reported.
Yeah.
So it's not a question of necessarily like they took the temperature of these guys, the soul temperature, and separated the sheep from the goats, the nice guys from the fuckboys. Rather, guys would decide, oh, I want to be on TV on this reality dating show. They're looking for nice guys and they're looking for fuckboys. And then I have to present myself at that in my audition tape.
Or I would argue they thought, I want to be on a reality show, which is a easier sell given me.
Right. But that's just it. It's a game. They're gaming it out.
Yeah.
So they're presenting themselves as one way or the other. And so then in this game, concept, the ladies, there's 3 of them, have to choose between a group that is 50% people who signed up, filmed themselves saying, I'm a nice guy. I swear to God. I want to meet a woman and have kids. I want a serious relationship. And then the other 50% were guys who said, I am a player.
Yeah, but I can say as a woman, and I have dated mostly nice guys, like what I would as a woman describe as nice guys, except for Jared, who never let me call him my boyfriend, so I wouldn't say I dated him necessarily. But all of them have been pretty much nice guys, and I think everyone would agree with that. All like my friends and everybody would say like the guys that I've dated, good guys. But if a guy claims to be a nice guy,
yeah,
it's sort of like a guy claiming to be a feminist.
Yes.
It's a
persona.
huge red flag.
Yeah.
It is a huge red flag. I do not trust you if
No.
you're like, that's like a thing that you like wear on your sleeve. That's
it's
not
a persona.
Allowed.
It's a mask to wear, and everyone recognizes that it's a mask. So going on the show and saying, "Hey, I'm a nice guy," is like, "Hi, I'm going to wear this skin mask," and then you got these F-boys who are willing to go on TV, and I think that's the real thing: is that the F-boys are always the guys the women actually want. And I think it's because the F-boys get to go on TV in a series of sort of, in a sense of liberation, because they get to present themselves as being the person that they both are. They're all F-boys. They wouldn't be on the show if they weren't F-boys.
Yeah, but I think like they do tell them not to reveal that they are F-boys early on.
Yeah.
Even to the audience, like even in interviews, they
Right.
like want it to remain a mystery. That's like part of the show. But okay, so we watched the first season of this last year, and we were like, okay, there's half nice guys, half F-boys. Generally, the game of the show is for women, the 3 women that are participating, to find out who the F-boys are and to vote them off the island. And that is just not what happened. As the show went along, you saw these 3 contestants get more and more clues that the guys that they were into were F-boys, and they kept ignoring them on purpose.
They just kept getting rid of nice guys.
Oh yeah.
Because the way it would set up is that the girls don't know what the guys self-identify as. And then at the end of each elimination episode, they bring up 2 candidates, and then they say why they aren't clicking, and then they pick one each. So 3 people get eliminated. And then when they get eliminated, they say what they were, nice guy or an F-boy. And then they get sent to the afterlife. It's very fascinating.
Oh yeah, there's 2 spots where they get sent.
Yeah.
So if they reveal that they're F-boys and they get sent off, they get sent to
Limbro, which is essentially a concentration camp on the beach.
It is.
It's like a Gilligan's Island concentration camp. It's like it's a bamboo cage with like Flintstones weights that they all hang around with in tents.
Yeah, and if they are nice boys and they get kicked off, they get sent to.
They get sent to this gorgeous like Airbnb, like 15 bedroom mansion on the beach. They all do homoerotic guy bonding.
Yeah, they do a lot of eating fruit together.
They eat fruit suggestively.
It's not lightly done.
No, it's very heavily handed.
It is a lot of feeding each other bananas.
It's very homoerotic.
Spraying whipped cream into each other's mouths.
It's quite homoerotic.
It is called
nice guy something. Nice
mansion
guy.
Or something.
Nice boy house.
I mean, honestly, I'm so sorry, but even as someone watching, I'm like way more interested in the F-boys than I am in the nice guys.
Because as I said, the F-boys are willing to be honest in a way. They're willing to perform a genuine desire to fuck and win, whereas the nice guys have to pretend that there's something else to hide the real thing, which is the same drive to fuck and win.
Oh, really?
Yes. And so I think...
Is that the only drive there is?
That gets you on a reality show?
Love is not a real drive.
No.
Matt, are you
love
saying
is a
in
real drive.
life
Nope,
that love is not a real drive?
In
Because
life,
for all the listeners, Matt is my fiance.
In life, love is a real drive. But on a reality show, I would posit it is not. There's no room for love in a reality show. It's all people, to the degree that they like convince themselves that like I'm actually in love, that is essentially like you are brainwashing yourself.
Oh no, I totally agree. No,
like
I think
you're
that,
Patty Hursting yourself.
Well, no, reality shows are agreeing to be brainwashed because the thing that they put you through, the way that they take you away from the rest of society, like if you read
phones.
anything about like how the Bachelor Bachelorette goes, how like Love Island goes, how this show I'm assuming goes, they take you away from society. They don't let you read anything. They don't let you have your phone.
No TV.
They don't let you watch anything. The only book that's allowed is the Bible.
Glug, glug, glug.
And
the
then
whole
they
time,
give you booze.
They're waterboarding you with alcohol.
They're absolutely encouraging you to overdrink.
Yep.
The producers drink with you. The producers take shots with you. They're like, yeah, this is a party scene.
This is a fucking Stanley Milgram experiment.
Yeah.
It is a torment nexus to find out how far you'll go to like make humans do what will be entertaining for you, which is literally that which is like emotionally distressing for them.
Yeah.
It's fucked up.
It is fucked up. It's effed up, as
it's
they would say.
F-boyed up,
it's
yo.
F-boyed up. So the first season, we were watching it sort of grow as a show together. We were like, this is the first time this has ever happened. And you sort of see them like change the game as it goes along because these women are continually choosing
They keep,
F-boys.
as we said earlier, they keep picking the nice guys to go home. And you're finding out when they send them home is when you find out what they were. And over they say, I was a nice guy. And so it's so overwhelming that like it became clear, oh no, for this thing to have any tension at the end, there needs to be a contrast. Is she going to pick a nice guy or is she going to pick a F-boy? So to stop like that bleeding, they just said, hey, all you guys now.
No, wait.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Before they even revealed who's nice guy and who's an F-boy, they did another reveal. They let all the ladies look at all of the guys' social media accounts.
I thought that was after.
No, that's before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they let them all look at their social media accounts, and they're like, what do you think? Like, what do you think? Do you think this guy's an F-boy or a nice guy? And it was so clear. Like, one of them had a girlfriend. Like, clearly had a girlfriend. And she approached him about it. She talked to him about it, and he said, yeah, actually, I had a girlfriend, and I broke up with her right before the show. Sorry. But I love you now. And this same contestant had heard from other guys on the show that this guy had said, you know, I don't normally date small-chested women. If we go outside of the house and I still date her, I'm going to have to pay to get her a boob job.
Right.
And she still thought, you know what? Like, I know he's an F-boy, but I can change him.
Because so halfway through the season, or even not even halfway through the season, they say, all right, say everybody what you are. And so even knowing that, they still kept eliminating nice guys.
Yeah, in case if you didn't hear that, they revealed if they were F-boys or nice guys halfway through the season.
Yes.
And despite knowing who was who, the ladies still
They kept picking F-boys.
F-boys.
And at the end of it, it was down to... So there were three girls, and then each of them had two guys to pick from. And they had negotiated it so that they had finagled it.
It was basically all nice guy, F-boy, nice guy, F-boy.
Everybody
nice
had
guy,
one
F-boy.
of each,
yeah,
which was what they were trying to get. And so that's how you know that they manipulated the results
They
to get it.
really produced it
It's
well.
like, obviously, okay, you had to really bang on the machine here to get this result. Like, doing that reveal was just part of it. Like, you know, they're doing stuff behind the scenes just to get that. And then even then, there's barely any suspense as 2 out of these 3 chicks pick an F-boy.
Mm-hmm.
And
then the F boy like gets to choose.
Yes. And one of them is like I'm sorry.
Yeah, they don't even know what the choosing is, the audience right now. So if you haven't watched, the F boy gets to choose. So they are competing for a prize. If you win, you get $100,000. The couples each get $100,000 basically. But if you choose a nice guy, the woman gets to keep the $100,000. If you choose an F-boy, the F-boy gets the $100,000. And either he can split it with the woman or he can keep it all for himself.
I thought the woman could pick a guy, and if he was a nice guy, they would split it. But if she picked an F-boy, then he would get to choose.
Basically, yeah.
Because they're like, it's all about assuming... It's the trust thing implicit in dating an F-boy. You know, like, is he going to treat my heart well?
Yeah.
And one of them did...
Choose a nice guy.
One of them did choose a nice guy. But one of them picked an F-boy who then, even though he was an F-boy, did the romantic thing.
And
Casey.
split the money.
And split the money.
Casey.
But then the other one, who picked the guy who had said, I don't really date small-chested women and I have a girlfriend and all this stuff. She says, I'm picking you. And he just goes immediately... I'm taking all the money. Fuck you. We are broken up. I want all of the money.
Yep. And then the show screwed him basically by saying, I know we said you could have the money, but actually you cannot have the money.
It's a moral tale, this whole show.
We're mad about that. You have to now give all of that money to a charity of the woman contestants choosing.
Right.
That I felt like was a little bit of a cop-out. You shouldn't be allowed to do that. That seems wrong given the whole experiment of the show.
Right. But the thing is that they were trying to do a little morality tale to show why you fuckboys should be better. And then to have one just get away like that, like, oh yeah, he conned this woman and then got $100,000 free, scot-free. You had to have some sort of intervention to be like, no, don't do that. Bad, like hitting a dog in the nose with a rolled up newspaper.
Yeah, and that, as we saw, because we just recently watched the second season of the show, is a problem that they continue to have. Yeah. I think they started the show with this idea of having these morals in mind, and these morals are just not proven.
No.
It's like a fucking Stanford experiment gone wrong. Like they're seeing again and again that the things they want to be true are just not true.
Right.
At least especially with the type of people who are going to be joining reality TV shows.
That's the thing, is that like this group is such a self-selecting sliver of people that like they will not behave the way you want them to because they have already been like pre-perverted. They've been already warped by their pursuit of celebrity, basically.
Yeah.
Like they're all would-be influencers.
They are. I mean, they're would-be, wannabe, honestly successful influencers, because in order to be picked for a lot of these shows now, you have to have a good amount of followers.
Absolutely.
Like you have to have a big following already.
They like no matter what they say, they're not there to find love. Like you can't even sell that for a minute because they're all, and they even admit it in a lot of their little captions that say their jobs. Like it will just say like social media influencer or Bitcoin investor.
Oh, well, that's a real job.
Yeah.
I mean, to the moon.
To the moon, baby.
Yeah. So the second season comes on and you see 3 more women join this idea of like trying to find the nice guys. And again, they continue to not.
Yeah, they're boring.
Find the nice guys because the nice guys are boring and creepy.
Yep.
And it's just not good at conversation. Like they're just,
because there's too much artifice there. Like everyone knows that they have a mask on. Whereas with the F-boys, like they're lying sort of, but they're telling a deeper truth because they came in and said, I'm an F-boy.
Yeah. I mean, I think the nice guys also are like probably having trouble with being nice guys, like that being their story, and then also performing the reality TV show
which goes against
persona, which totally goes against that concept. You're supposed to be like party, like smile all the time. Like hyper active, just rah. You're a woo boy.
Yeah.
How can you be a woo boy and a nice guy at the same time?
Yeah. Because it's saying that like there's this value system that we're trying to promote, but at the end of the day, we don't really believe in it because people who actually adhere to it are not interesting, and we don't want to pay attention to them.
Yeah. And so the second season of FBoy Island, it starts off normal. It starts off, like half F-boys, half nice guys. You don't know which one's which. It's hard to tell. The ladies start dating guys. They are naturally, in this case, in a reality TV show, plus with booze, more attracted to men who say stupid, smooth lines and are like more likely to kiss them and grab
the
their
more
butt
outgoing
earlier.
guys.
They're more
Like,
outgoing.
They're willing to shoot the shot.
They say things like, "Get on my lap right now," and you're like, "Oh, well,
There
that's
she
obviously a
is.
fuckboy."
Yeah.
But they, I don't know that it doesn't continue to be exactly normal because they bring back a couple of characters from the first season, and the characters that they choose to bring back are they bring back throughout the season 3 characters, and all 3 of the characters that they bring back are F-boys from the first season.
Yep.
And that to me says like they know what sells. Like they clearly know what the ladies want and what the people want, which is F-boys in this genre, in this format.
And that this whole show is this fraud.
It's a fraud.
It's imposing this morality that the show itself goes against. I mean, that's what generates the alienation we live in, is that all of our cultural products are telling us a lie to our faces.
Yeah. I mean, I think this show, I really felt like when I watched this first season of the show that I felt it fighting against this thing that was happening to it, that I was like, oh, this show is trying to be this morality case and it is failing at it. Like every turn is just proven wrong. And then I think the second season they were like, oh, well, fuck it. We're just going to go for it. We're going to...
We're going to stare into the heart of darkness.
Yeah, it's because this is what you want. We're going to give it to you.
It's like how Truffaut said, you can't make a real anti-war movie if you depict violence, because violence is interesting and entertaining and charismatic. And like this show is telling you, like, we're creating a world where the only people anyone wants to pay attention to are ones who have abandoned every human fucking value we have to become totally selfish, narcissistic,
sociopaths,
ego monsters. And that's who we want to watch.
I mean, that is though who we want to watch. I mean,
but like we're telling people that we live in a society that values all these values that it does not. But
I mean, in other contexts, I think it's different. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, have only dated nice guys.
Yeah.
Except for you.
I'm a bad boy, baby.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, I do think that it is different in other contexts, but it is an interesting example of saying one thing and doing a whole nother.
Yes.
Well,
it's a confession. Like we're confessing that all of our putative values are hollow, and then we're reckoning with like, what does a world where that's true mean? What does that mean? I'm very interested to see how this season ends because we have not gotten to the final episode.
No.
Well, there's one left, and we are recording before it is released. Maybe we should do a supplementary episode if there's an interesting enough conclusion. But once again, they've got it set up where, although this time they have not been able to get it so that it's everybody has one of each. 2 of them have one of each. One of them has just 2 F-boys.
Honestly, the one contestant who like was very clearly wanting, or at least in all of her like one-on-one conversations with the camera, in her confessionals, she kept on saying things that she wanted a nice guy. Like she was very much into nice guys. That's what she was looking for. She wanted someone she could start a family with. She's the one who ended up with all F-boys because even though her words said that, her actions said different because she kept on going after this one guy, Peter, who was an F-boy from the first season.
They brought him back.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, I know that he's bad, but like I have so much lust with him that it doesn't matter. Him on Instagram. Yeah, she stalked him on Instagram. She's honestly a star fucker, is what I would say.
She's a clout shark.
She was a fan of his.
She's a clout shark.
She was a fan. Yeah. And then she was like, she saw him and she couldn't say no because she was a fan. That's weird to me. That's really weird. I don't like that. I think that's a bad decision to make. I think that's never, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I can't imagine being in that situation. I think that would be bad if I felt like subservient to my partner in that way, where I was like I saw them as like on a pedestal.
Yeah.
But there are other relationships that work differently than the way I do.
Well, what's insane is, so as I said, the first season, they had this deal where it was supposed to be 50-50, and you would think the odds would be in favor of the nice guy since, hey, putatively, these women are trying to get a relationship. But yet, no, the drift was towards the fucking bad boys, the F-boys. So they had to change the rules to try to even it out, and they still couldn't. But what's insane is in the second season, they try to correct for that by making a rule whereby if the 50 grand is given, if one of the women picks a nice guy, they immediately split the money. No matter what, they split it 50-50 each. But if a woman picks a bad boy, an F-boy, he gets control of the entire $100,000. And he can decide, like Garrett did in season 1, I'm going to keep the money. Now, given those conditions.
And they were like, there's no charity situation. That's not going to be a cop-out this time.
And even then, there's no, you will lose the money if he takes it. And the only way that happens is if you pick a F-boy. Given those conditions, the fact that this is real money on the line, those women should have eliminated all of the F-boys immediately. They should have made it. They should have gotten together because they could talk about things.
No, yeah, they could.
They should have gotten together and said, identify the F-boys and remove them. Because the only way they could lose money in this thing is if they pick a fucking F-boy. They don't gain anything. The best they could do is 50 grand, which they're guaranteed to get with a nice guy and might lose with an F-boy. And yet they kept picking F-boys knowing that.
Yeah, they kept picking to eliminate nice guys. They even would pick nice guys to eliminate, and when it was revealed, oh, I came in as a nice guy, they would say, yeah, I knew that. Then why did you choose to vote him off?
It's
vote off
baffling.
Anybody but...
You do not understand what you're doing. Like, if they really want to...
Because they're trying to go along with the game.
If they're delusional enough to want a relationship, then they should be wanting to pick nice guys. If they just want the money and they understand it's a game show, they should be wanting to pick nice guys. No matter what, they should be picking nice guys.
You know, the element that you are missing here is that these are all people in their young 20s. And their frontal cortex is not finished growing. Their impulse control is not done yet. Plus, they're pumped full of booze.
That's true. They're drunk all the time.
So they really just don't.
But what we're seeing, though, is the show is giving us the revealed preference. We say we want nice guys, but even given these conditions.
Okay. This is where I want to stop you, and this is where I keep on
with F-boys
disagreeing with you on this show, because you've said this when we're just like watching at home and stuff too. You're like, these ladies are they're giving a bad name to all women. They are showing that this stereotype that men always think that nice guys finish last is actually true. That is not true. That is happens to be true in this scenario because it is reality TV.
Yes, no, I agree.
And what is happening is you are seeing F girls. And they are pretending to be nice girls just because they are women. And that is misogynistic and sexist. The idea, okay, like, did you ever watch?
F girl cannot present as an F girl.
Did you ever watch Smack My Bitch Up? Like, the whole point of that music video, the reason why it was feminist is because it had a woman being evil.
You're correct.
And you know what?
Yep.
Women can be evil.
You're
Women
correct.
can be bad. Women can want to be fuck girls too. Okay? And that's that is what the show is missing.
You know what the show is? The show is that riddle where it's like he goes to the kid who gets hurt and he goes to the doctor and says, I can't work on him. He's my son. How? And it's like, it's because it's the mother. It's like, these women are also F girls.
This show runs on an assumption that women are good.
Yes, you're right.
And that is not true. Women are human.
And humans who go on reality shows are evil. They're demons.
Well, anybody who goes on a reality show is bad, but that's not because they're necessarily bad, but maybe because they're pushed to an extreme where they're forced to be bad. Like we are in a capitalist society.
They have signed the devil's book in the woods.
Yeah, they're just trying to fucking pay their rent though. A lot of the time.
Understandable, but they're still their souls are forfeit.
Yeah, they're selling tummy tea to do it, but it's not like their fault a lot of the time.
I understand.
I mean, some of them it is.
We will
their
all
fault.
meet in the sweet by and by. I understand, even if you've signed the devil's book.
Yeah, yeah. So that is the part I think that like this show is really messing up is that they don't realize that women can be bad too. And like, did they do any sort of selection process to find good girls?
Who would do that though? What good girl would go on that show? Because like you're doing a fake relationship in front of everybody.
You would never make out with anybody.
They make out with so many people on this show.
Yeah.
Like that is a thing that many people would be uncomfortable with.
Yeah. We talked about Angeline on the last show, and she was honestly a good girl, even though she was very sexually provocative. Raunchy, but she was not like giving it away.
No. She would charge people for like lunch or something.
Yeah. She would charge people for lunch or like a kissed autographed picture of her. Yeah. That's, I mean, I don't know. I like think about her in like comparison to these reality TV stars because she was the original influencer, and she was a genius in a way that none of them can be. Yeah, she was.
I didn't know anything about her whole deal. I knew about the billboards, and I never knew where she got the money or anything. But finding out that she just like convinced some billboard guy to just do it for free, and then parlayed that into being so famous that people were like charging to have lunch with her, or have a signed photo, or a vial of bath water.
Her fans were the original pay
holy
pigs.
Crap.
Like she invented pay pigs.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, I think very cool.
But now, like everybody who's like now in the digital age, it doesn't require that kind of ingenuity. You can just go and do it, and be center of attention.
Yeah.
And then boom, because we've got OnlyFans, and
she was also on the front wave of the foot fetish thing.
Yeah.
She like sold a guy her shoes, and then maybe sold him some pictures of her feet. That maybe.
Cha-ching.
He definitely asked for some.
Hey, if somebody wants pictures of my feet, I will give them to them for money.
I've put pictures of your feet on the internet for free. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I don't think anybody would want to pay. But.
Every time I've ever posted a picture of you and your feet happen to be in it, there is definitely in the replies someone with a cropped image of just your feet from that picture being like, "Oh, baby. Oh, yeah." Or they're just looking at they have a cropped picture of your thighs and they're like, "Oh, legs looking good." You got some weird followers, man.
You people have no idea what you think you want. It's absurd. You do not want that. You don't.
They want it.
They do not.
They want
think
it so
they
badly.
do, but they do not.
No, it's good. It's good. So if you went on to FBoy Island, would you go on as an F-boy or a good guy?
I don't think that I at the end of the day do not have alpha energy. I am a beta dog, so I have to recognize that.
I don't know. We've talked about this before, but your an alpha beta.
Sure.
So you can't appear as an alpha because you're very loud.
I know, but the thing is, at the end of the day, I don't have the physical assets that those F-boys do. That's the thing that unifies all the F-boys.
Abs.
They're all chiseled man gods. So I don't think I can compete on those grounds. So I'm going to have to give them some personality and some implied, see, once again,
nice
guy, wink. That's what I would go as a one of the faceless men of Bravos, as a sexual assassin.
Well, I don't know. Yeah, I would see you going in as a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think you would be sold very well as
I would eat shit. I would be gone the first week.
You could totally kill it if you came in as an F-boy because, you got to be assumed they're going to think you're a nice guy and vote you off anyway. But if for some reason you make it and you are one of those guys, then you could end up taking all the money.
I guess. I guess it's all a mindset thing, because you could play as a nice guy and still like be F-boy enough to get them to stay interested.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the way to play it. Because I feel like when the reveal comes, and it always does, I feel like that's going to knock me down. It's like, oh, he's like that and an F-boy. But if they're like, oh, he's that cool and fun and outgoing, and he's also a nice guy, I'll keep him around.
Yeah.
And if I'm around, then I can stay. I have a chance.
Yeah. I don't know. I was watching it, and I know that I know why they choose F-boys. I know that they're quicker to be charming. They're more physical. I can see they have a lot of abs.
They establish dominance.
They establish dominance. They're very it's
They're
easy.
alphas.
It's easy to follow them because they lead you, and you don't need to choose too much.
They're beach masters.
Yeah, but some of them don't like fucking Peter. Okay, Peter.
He's a little bitch.
I do not know why
Peter is a little bitch.
you would continue to pick Peter when
Awful.
you say the slightest mean thing to him and he stomps off into the room in a huff and goes to cry in a corner. I'm sorry. This is not toxic masculinity. This guy is He's a little bitch.
He's a biatch.
There's no other way of saying
He's
it.
straight bitch.
He's a toddler.
He is sweet like bear meat.
And you try what is her name? Who?
Nia?
She is for some reason because he's famous and interested in Peter, and he can't even say why he likes her. He's just he's just a lot of oh, because I love you, baby.
I love you, baby. I'm here to love.
Because
I want to find love.
You're great. I've never felt anything like this before.
I feel so much with you.
Which is nothing specific about her.
No.
And then when she's but are you an F-boy? He's
how can you say that?
How could you say that?
What
I
do I
just can't. I've done so much growing here.
I've grown so much.
I've opened up so much.
That's the thing. That's how you know he's full of shit. Because if you actually are reformed, and that was his pitch, is that, yes, he came in as an F-boy in season 1, but now he's reformed. He's seen the light. Well, then you should be able to take it on the chin.
Yeah,
why are you so fucking sensitive?
You should be able to say, yeah, you know what? I can see where you would come from with that because I have been like that in the past, and I could see how you would assume that about me.
It's reasonable.
It's totally understandable.
You are being a baby. You're not showing growth and maturity.
Yeah.
So why should I believe you're not an F-boy anymore?
And you know what he was?
He was a fucking F-boy. Of course he was an F-boy.
And she's still interested.
She's going to pick him.
She's going to pick him.
I predict. She's going to pick him.
There was another guy who is, by the way, very handsome, who is funny, who I thought was going to definitely be an F-boy, but is actually a nice guy, Benedict.
Yes, Benedict.
Who's a comedian, so you would kind of assume he's an F-boy because there's a lot of terrible male comedians.
Oh, yeah.
Most of them are terrible. Like, comedians are either rapists or drug addicts. That's the way we come. And the male ones are rapists. Sorry. No, so I was really surprised. I was very surprised to hear that he was a good guy. And he is. He's a good guy, at least according to him on the show, which, you know, does throw up some red flags. But he comes off pretty sincere. She seems to have a real connection with him. No, wait, that's not with her.
Yeah, no, that's with Louise.
Oh, yeah.
Who sometimes gets called Luis, and that's very annoying.
Yeah.
The name is Louise, classic old-timey American name.
Yeah.
But she has two guys. One of them is Benedict, who's just like, oh, this guy is the best of all worlds. It's like, this is the guy to pick. And then there's this douche Mercedes, who is an F-boy, who has fights with everybody in the house.
Yep.
And who is a prick, short-tempered to her face.
To her. Yeah.
And yet she's still going to pick that guy. And therefore risk 50 grand.
Yeah.
Rather than pick this guy who has all the things you want, but is just a nice guy. As if the very fact of being a nice guy renders you unattracted to her. Because
she was super attracted to him beforehand, and then he revealed he was a nice guy.
And what I think
suddenly he went lower down on the list.
It's a contempt for the cowardice. Because I think at the end of the day, everyone understands that there are no nice guys here.
Well,
if you're claiming it, you're a liar. And so they respect them less.
Well, I mean, they are in a competitive situation. And the idea of a nice guy is that they're not going to compete as hard. Mm-hmm. They are going to take whatever they get.
Right.
But
he is going for it, and still nothing. And she's going to end up picking this guy who could cost her 50 grand instead of guaranteeing herself 50 grand. It's astounding.
Well, so this one chick ended up with all F-boys.
And now she's effed out of luck. She has no game now. Anyone she picks, it's a Russian roulette that she might lose to have all the money.
Yeah. But because she picked all F-boys, I feel like they've come up with a new understanding of F-boy. And they were like, they've shown this on the show. They had people talking about it. They were like, well, everyone has their own definition of F-boy. Like, one guy that she has that's an F-boy is Guido, who was cheated on multiple times. And he says that's why he came here as an F-boy, because he couldn't trust anybody. But he actually, wants to find love. And the other guy, they're all like, yeah, we are F-boys, but it's not the same definition of F-boy as you have. It's like saying like, okay, actually, this isn't an abortion.
Yeah.
You can't change the definition now.
Yeah. Well, they have to create a gradation because there's no choice anymore. Everyone understands it's some sort of F-boy. And so they're just like, hey, pick me. I'm an F-boy, but not quite. So you can pick me. You can trust me.
I pick me because you're more likely to be able to change me than anyone else. One guy she chose that was an F-boy, she was interviewing them each basically afterwards, not dating them, but which interviewed to me. And she was like, why should I trust you? And he was like, well, aren't we all F-boys? And she was like, that is not allowed as an answer. And I was like, that is a very honest answer.
That's why
he's not allowed to do that. You can't that was way too honest.
Nope.
You're supposed to play the game. Yep. What are you doing? Dummy.
We're all doing this dance here. Don't call attention to the audience.
Yeah. Don't break the fourth wall.
Don't break that fourth wall, buddy.
You fucked up. You fucked up big time.
So we'll see who picks, but I have a feeling that one of these women is guaranteed to pick an F-boy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And I would say one of the other two is going to pick an F-boy. Even though the game conditions were such that if these women had a brain in their heads and were paying attention to what was happening to them, they would have made it so that this was impossible.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily agree with that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Because, think about what we talked about earlier with Angeline. Okay. yes, they could be forfeiting their half of the $100,000, but these women might be thinking a little bit further down the line than that. These women are aiming to be influencers, and they are thinking not about that $100,000
of the game,
but what is going to get them more followers down the line.
Good point.
Who may not be a long-term partner for them, but would be a good short-term partner to burst, to add to their following.
Get a few tummy tea sponsorships. Get paid to show to some nightclubs in LA.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're right. That's the long-term play, and that's the fourth dimension of the game that they can't,
nobody can talk about. Nobody can talk about that.
Know about.
But it always is on my mind.
It's true.
I'm like, yeah, obviously. The last time when one F-boy split the money with her, I was like, yeah, that's what I would do, because otherwise the internet is going to hate you. But you can always play the heel, which is what Garrett did.
Yeah, Garrett made a strong play to be a huge douche.
Yeah,
make people notice him, and then of course, people decide to ironically support him or support him out of some sort of Luciferian commitments.
Say what you want, but he's a memorable character.
It's a Martin Shkreli type deal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he is everybody that follows him. Again,
an anti-hero.
And again, this is a anti-F-boy show. The morality of the
ostensibly
show says it's an F-boy show. That is clearly what they are arguing for over and over and over again. Whenever Nikki Glaser says bye to guys and they have been designated as F-boys or nice guys, she says, nice guy, nice try. F-boy, F-bye. And it's supposed to be clear that she hates the F-boys, but she doesn't. And the show doesn't.
They're who they love.
You know that because the show is called F-boy Island.
It's
not called Nice Guy Island.
It's true. That's who we want to see, folks. We don't want to admit it to ourselves, but that is what we're here for, is a grimy pleasure seeking. None of that pesky love. No place for it here.
I love you, though.
I love you.
Sorry.
But we're not on reality TV.
No, we're on a podcast.
Exactly, which is totally different.
Totally different. Yeah. And you can definitely have love on a podcast. It's
100%.
I don't know if that's correct. I don't know the difference between a podcast and a reality TV show. I do know one of the main differences is that I don't have any producers. And nobody's paying me to do this except for my patrons, and they are not.
It's true. There's
guiding me which way.
There's no Mark Burnett motherfucker with a fucking cattle prod and a jug of Ernest and Julio Gallo trying to turn you into a human marionette.
I'm allowed to read as many books as I want.
You can. You can go on the internet.
Even though I just got to say, I do want to write books, but I do not want to read.
It's ableist to expect writers to read. Yeah. We all know this.
I refuse to.
Me too.
I refuse to. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I refuse. I am a Philistine, and I wear that with pride.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I am illiterate, in fact.
Words are stupid.
Words are dumb.
Get rid of them.
Absolutely illegal. Abolish words.
Symbols, get out of here.
I mean, you joke, but that is where we went wrong.
Yeah.
Symbols are where we went wrong.
It's true. Sumerians, way to blow it.
Yeah.
You fucked up. You stupid cuneiform motherfuckers.
That's real rich coming from a German.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's another one.
So, Italians, we didn't do anything.
Oh, yeah. Latin had no contribution.
No, we definitely didn't. Okay. We're not the root of anything.
No.
Definitely not evil. Definitely not words.
Yeah. Like Roman conceptions of liberty being the undergirding of all class society.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Because I don't read.
See, that's why.
Boom.
That's why it's smart not to.
Yeah. Smooth brain all the way.
That's the only way to go.
Yeah, I thought, what was that? What was the name of that person on Twitter who said that they shouldn't have to read in order to write a book?
Yes, it turned out that they work for
Lockheed Martin.
Yes, it's a whole hilarious turn of fate.
Yeah, that is really funny. And then when people found out they worked for Lockheed Martin, people came out to defend them, saying like,
yeah,
that's
it's self-care.
It's
necessary,
they need that job to
Yeah,
support themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they need to work for one of the most evil corporations in the world. They need
It's the only
they
way
need to
that-
make
yeah.
bombs in order to live, you guys. I mean, I know. Okay, there's no ethical consumption in capitalism, but what the fuck?
I mean, it's to me, if you're going to do that job, that's fine. I'm not going to get mad at you. I don't care. And I don't care about this really, but if people got mad at this person and yelled at them, it's not because they work for Lockheed Martin. Thousands of people do. It's because they work for Lockheed Martin while being moral scolds who are public authorities on what was right and wrong and telling everybody whether they're like colonizers or good people. Like that's what made it ridiculous.
He who
and
lives in
something
a
to make
glass
fun of.
house should throw the first stone.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones.
Yes, but the thing is like the fact that that's their job is why they go on the internet to enforce morality, to like to make up for the fact that their job is literally murdering people.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I thought about it, and I think that we should make a Smack My Bitch Up video with them in the mirror at the end.
Yeah. With a joystick controlling a predator drone.
Yes. Anyway, thank you for talking to me about Love Island.
Of course.
That's not what we were talking about. Thank you for talking to me about FBoy Island. I really appreciate it, and I hope that it hasn't changed the way you view me or that I view you.
No, we all know that I am a nice guy. Or am I? Wait a minute. Am I an F-boy? I don't know. What am I?
I don't know.
Oh, shit.
You have to decide.
Fuck.
That's not true, actually. The world decides about you. You don't decide, and that is also one of the major flaws of this show. You do not get to decide if you are an F-boy or a nice guy. The world decides that about you.
Shit.
Like, F-boy is in the eye of the beholder.
What is the world decided?
I mean, I think you're a nice guy. I only date nice guys. So I see you as a nice guy, but I'm sure that other people in the world see you as an F-boy.
Certainly.
I mean, you're weird because you're like a dirtbag leftist, you know? Dirtbag, F-boy, leftist, nice guy. So it's kind of hard to tell.
Leftist might as well just be nice guy. That's what that means.
Yeah.
Which is why it's often a cloak for ill intent.
Which, yeah, is true.
The F-boys in nice guy clothing.
God. So male feminist sort of situation.
Indeed, yes.
Like that freaking journalist. You got to help me out, man.
Hugo Schweizer?
Yes, Hugo Schweizer. Thank you. He is and was to me a male feminist, and that's you see them sometimes in comedy too. There's two types of predators in comedy. There's just the real like F-boy predators, and there's the male feminist nice guy predators. And I think that's also what you see on this show. You see the F-boy predators and you see the male feminist predators. But the people that you don't see are the guys who wouldn't go on a reality TV show to begin with.
Which is the thing, is that everybody's a predator. Because, as we said, the women are predators too.
Yeah.
Only predators show up for a casting call for F-boy Island. So everyone is a predator. And yet we look at it and we think that that is a reflection of all of us.
Yeah, we look at it and we're like, oh, this has to be a varied and differing and diverse group of people. No.
It's one group of people.
It is a monolith.
Yep. And then you look at it and you see reflections of yourself and you're like, oh, I guess this is all the options we have.
I guess this is the type of guy I am.
Different flavors of scumbag, either honest or lying. And
or a woman.
Or a woman. No.
There's others.
There's others out there who wouldn't go on a show like that.
Yeah. There's other people out there.
Yeah, they would just podcast about it.
Nice guys, FBoys, and podcasters.
Exactly. Thank you. The ultimate synthesis of the two. Thank you.
You're not an alpha. You're not a beta. You're a
Sigma, baby.
There you go.
Sigma podcast.
There you go. Okay. Thank you again for talking to me about FBoy Island. Everyone, this has been Low Culture Boil. Matt, do you have anything you want to plug?
Fall tour, if you're a fan of Chapo Trap House. We're going to be in New York, LA, Chicago, and Fort Lauderdale in October. Check out the website. Please.
Hell yeah. And if you want to give us more money, even though this is a Patreon episode, if you want to give more money or tell your friends to give us money, tell them to sign up on Patreon, patreon.com/lowcultureboil. Make sure you're following us on social media, on Twitter and Instagram @lowcultureboil. And we will talk to you next week. Thank you. Bye.